podcast. 22-minute podcast. Don't want to take up much of your time. Just gonna read some headlines. Stuff.
Welcome to the 22-minute podcast. My name is Wes Severson. Today is Friday, December 27th, 2024, and I'm sitting across from Mike Finley.
Hey, guys.
How old's your daughter?
7.
So younger than the dead girl that we played at the beginning.
That's right.
Be careful.
Yeah, I know.
Take her to the doctor.
You know, I'm really liking the little audio bits that we've done this week.
It's that kind of stuff, man.
That's a lot of fun.
That's, you know, and obviously we're both interested and excited in some level to incorporate audio drops.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, until I just pull one out of nowhere.
Yeah.
And your brain goes somewhere that you didn't expect it to
then
go.
I knew that you were going to play this one. Okay, we let it up, and then it played, and then goes right into the opening little jingle.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fuck yeah, all right.
Well, so, you know, I made a very crash joke, and I included your daughter. And if I didn't think that you weren't a little bitch, because you're not a little bitch, I wouldn't have made that joke.
I'm going to write about it later.
In your journal. Okay, all right. But no, you take her to the doctor. I'm sure she'll be fine. No, but so that, oh gosh, I forgot her name. It's on the list here somewhere. But
no, I was looking on the
Heather
list.
O'Rourke.
There it is.
Yes. The little girl from Poltergeist. Love Poltergeist.
Mm-hmm.
Love Poltergeist. Such a weird, mix of genres.
Yeah.
It's a family film,
Mm-hmm.
It establishes, establishing character, establishing set or a setting, and then letting the plot kind of interact with those characters, and then those characters respond to that change, and it becomes a horror movie. But you know, because it was heavily produced by Steven Spielberg.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing, is you're seeing a lot of Steven Spielberg, and then it was also the director of Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Yeah.
So yes, just such an odd combination of things, but it makes it, I don't know, it makes it rewatchable, that's for sure. But it also makes it where like you're lulled in by the Steven Spielberg sensibilities, and then the horror of still the pacing of Spielberg with the horror of Hooper. That was his name, Tobe Hooper.
Tobes.
Yeah. So, great movie. R.I.P. little girl. Sorry, Heather. You're iconic. You know, I don't know if you ever got your star on the Hollywood. Maybe they gave you one humorously.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm doing like the morning announcements at school where I'm like, I thought I knew how to speak.
Well, you know, I was really excited to do that, and then it just was okay.
Oh, you did it for a stint.
Yeah.
Oh,
we did it together.
That's right,
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
That's right, we did.
Was it a semester that we did it, or was it? I can't remember.
6 weeks.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
think.
that's right.
I think
That's what it was.
6 weeks. Yeah, man, I don't know. I definitely think back to those times, and it's like, you know, maybe if we did live somewhere else, there would have just been more apparent pathways.
I thought about like
encouragement
this morning.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's how it works. And you know, you've got the opportunity with your kid to at least be like, well, I didn't not talk about it. I didn't discourage it. I encouraged it. I made the effort of, you know, her memories of me and music are going to be that he encouraged.
Sure.
The kind of thing. So that's good. I think, you know, if anything, that's the best you can do.
Well, not only that, but she's getting really good at her Australian accent. We were doing it this morning, eating cereal, and she's like, "Daddy, I'm getting really good." I was like, "You are getting like."
That's good.
Like, she's working on a Boston accent too. So it's
honestly, dude, like,
it's so much fun.
If you feel like, I don't know, I don't know kids. You know what I mean? I don't know what direction she's going individually either. I don't know what direction you want her to go, what things you want to encourage, what things you want to discourage. But I mean, I don't know. Like, the other part of it is, it's not just where you're from; it's your parents, and you know, if I mean, I was always obsessed with movies, so perhaps there was a moment where, like, one of my parents could have been like, "Hey, he's 7, he's 8 years old. Let's see if he wants to do like a play or something."
Sure,
you know,
sure.
They don't think that. They don't think about the art like that. You know, but there definitely are opportunities. Is what I'm saying. Is like, And she may hate it, and it may be a beating, and she may realize she doesn't want to do it. But that's the point. Is
right.
something's going to happen.
Finding something,
And I don't know. I like the idea of. I was thinking about like the Harry Potter kids. Sorry.
Don't be sorry. There's a fun fact we'll get onto, but yeah.
But just Emma Thompson, like, according to that documentary and what she said, she was obsessed with the books, and she wanted Hermione. She was a little girl who they even say like she was the smartest person on set somehow. Like she just knew what was going on more than most people. Like kind of crazy, and so she very actively. Hermione, that's the role. Who is she?
Emma Watson.
Oh, did I say Thompson?
Yeah, I was thinking.
Forgive
Trelawney
me.
is.
Yeah,
like,
right. My bad. Emma Watson.
Okay.
Yeah, most of those adult actors, it was just like my nephew, like would have been mad if I didn't take the role. like that's literally most of why those people are in those movies. Like that's the story of Ralph Fiennes. Like he went to like his niece and was like, you know this Harry Potter thing? And like, yes. They've been speaking to me about what is it, Voldemort? Like some conversation like that.
I want to see that video reenactment.
Just me, just overly doing a Ralph Fiennes.
But I'm getting a really strong like John Malkovich feel from me right now too.
In interviews, he has that kind of pacing. That's kind of the thing.
Really?
Yeah, he's got to be a super pretentious guy.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because John Malkovich is so far up his ass, his own ass. And Ralph Fiennes, he's giving pretentious in these interviews. As much as I like hearing him talk, I am like, dude, chill. Like I get that you're Shakespearean level. Well, hey, you might be one of the last true.
Sure.
I don't know. The British scene really seems to keep a certain level of. You have to go to school.
Yeah.
You have to do it a certain way. So I'm speaking out of my ass, but he's definitely one of the premier. Like he actually directed a movie. I'm getting off topic, but he directed and starred in a movie over 10 years ago now. I can't remember what it's called. It's
with Mousetrap?
No. Was he in that?
No. He
wasn't. with Nathan Lane.
No.
But he wrote and directed. I think it might have been like a Shakespeare adaptation.
Okay.
If not, it was certainly like an homage to a Shakespearean. The dialogue is just that.
Okay.
What do they call it? I can't remember what it's called. There's a term for that verse. Anyway, I'm blanking. Anywho, so yeah, I get it for sure. But yeah, so that's why I'm doing I think he is just overly soft-spoken, purposely, and casual about like.
Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah, it's really good.
Well, what was it?
I can't remember the name
Yeah.
right now. I think it starts with an A. It's like Annapolis or something like that. That may be a different movie, but it's with Gerard Butler as well.
Really?
Yeah, because he's not a bad actor. He just got pigeonholed into a two certain kinds of roles, romantic comedies for a while, and then the White House Down bullshit kind of thing. So no, he's a great actor. He really is.
We need somebody to save the president.
Yeah, we'll get the Scottish guy.
The Scottish man.
No, so they're both fantastic. It's really fun to watch if you're into acting. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's the genre that's truly dying. Is like
sure. Well, I think that's why I think they also want to pay respect to it. So that's why you have to go to school. You have to pay your dues.
Well, and even then, like if you do look at like, talking about the actors in the Harry Potter, the like adult actors in the Harry Potter movies, they don't know what the fuck is going on outside that scene.
Sure.
They know how to deliver the scene.
Right.
But you can definitely tell they don't know the context most of the time. And that's fine.
Yeah.
It's really not a big deal. But if you watch Marvel movies, no.
Right.
Robert Downey Jr. is overly obsessed with every character he does.
Yeah.
To cast a guy like that and not like just some overly pretty boy, a little bit taller meathead or something like that, that would have been the 90s way of casting.
Sure.
An Iron Man or something like that. That really is like there's. I mean, this is nothing new. This is talked about all the time, and I'm sure it's annoying to hear about. But Robert Downey Jr. really is what makes all that over a decade of filmmaking enjoyable.
I agree.
And successful.
Yeah.
He's the only one with a true arc, and it lasts over a decade.
Yeah.
And you know what kind of skill that takes? It's crazy. It really is. Nowadays, they would hire a British guy to do that.
Yeah.
They're doing that with Peter Parker.
Right.
He understands a 3-film arc of a character.
Yeah.
It seems like.
Yeah.
anyway.
No, for sure.
So it's interesting because they are you're expecting it more. You don't want to see a phoned-in performance surrounded by billions of dollars of CGI and that kind of thing. So I don't know. It's more niche. It almost feels like, because that now Marvel movies expect it. So how do you get to that point? You do have to go to school. You do have to have indie roles and shit like that. That's why they cast a British kid, to be Peter Parker, because like, well, he came up through that system,
yeah.
so we can trust him. Anyway, and that's generally why.
Well, you can trust him, but not to keep a secret.
Oh, that's for sure. I love that about him.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know much about him. I know he doesn't drink, so I don't drink, and so I'll give him a high five for that. But no, my favorite fact is, like, yeah, apparently he just can't keep his mouth shut. Because I don't know if I would be able to either.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like to be entrusted with like these things.
Do you know how excited I am?
Yeah.
Probably.
Right. Well, he seems like a very excitable person.
Well, he seems like a guy who actually like enjoys the filmmaking.
No, for
is
sure.
what it comes
For
down
sure.
to. And so that's why he's excited.
Yeah.
He's living his dream. Anywho, I don't know much. I know what I know about the Marvel stuff is new rock stars.
No, right.
You know what I mean? I really don't know anything outside that. I generally like his interpretations though, because honestly, that's a great site for just like a film study.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yes, it's mostly Marvel stuff that you're getting this kind of really in-depth analysis about. But it's still informative when it comes to like, oh, this is what producers think about it. Like, this is how they go from kind of a very basic Iron Man 1 origin story, very grounded, very. They even cut like a part that was going to kind of take it out of that perspective. I remember hearing that at some point.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was like they were going to introduce something else, something that they introduced later that's just more like on a universal level.
Gotcha.
and I think that it was a good decision to not do that because, you do go from like this very contained story, building character, introducing a world, then you get what's his name at the end, the post credit scene.
Samuel L. Jackson.
Right. So that's a hint, and that's how they did it. That's like a very, and that was revolutionary at the time. I don't remember if you remember the way it felt to be like,
what?
Whoa,
Yeah.
There's more.
Mm-hmm.
And not only is there more, but like you're introducing me to a character who's saying that, hey, you're about to be introduced to about 4 other characters.
Yeah.
And that's producing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's writing. Like someone had to write that scene, and they had to make it cinematic, but on a more like just plot level, that's producing, and it's saying we need to prime people. Not only do we need to prime people on these kinds of stories and to expect more characters, but to be taken. They had to get to a multiverse somehow.
Yeah.
And I get we're all like beaten down by it now.
Right.
And
but
that
I mean, at the
makes
time,
sense.
Kevin
Right.
Feige did a great job of
the first couple
doing that.
Yeah, the first couple rounds of it were great.
Yeah.
And then everybody did it.
And now we're just waiting, like we go to the movies to watch these post-credit scenes to know what's coming next.
It's almost the most exciting thing, unfortunately. And that really, because that is part of the criticism of, say, like this latest phase of the movies, not necessarily the Disney or the Marvel shows, but the Marvel movies have been criticized as like pretty cookie cutter stories that are just used to get to an end credit scene to then tease something else that may or may not happen. Like we still have no reference to what we saw Hercules.
Yeah.
At the end of one of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
At the end of Thor, Love and Thunder.
And we saw Beast, and I guess we're getting closer to that with the X-Men and stuff.
Yeah. What was that, the last Captain Marvel movie?
Yep. Because it introduced the alternate version of
Rambo.
What was her name? Something Monica. Monica was the
Monica's
mom,
the daughter.
And it is the daughter.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Well, see, I don't know enough. I enjoy watching those movies again as like pitch tent circuses, with a lot of money put into them and a lot of producing put into them. But the lore is not something that interests me the way that I'm more of a sucker for fantasy.
Sure.
So that's what's going to get me.
Speaking of fantasy, on this day in 1997, after narrowly escaping Nagini, Harry encounters Severus Snape's Patronus, a doe. He follows it, and he meets Ron.
And do you know why his Patronus was the doe?
Always.
Because he will always love Lily. one thing that is interesting, watching the new rock stars break down the HP stuff, it's something we kind of talked about a little bit, where you like, okay, do we want a completely dedicated, and that's it, production, HBO production, or do we want all that plus more?
Yeah.
Right, taking the opportunity to do more, and it's not that. Listen, I'm very cool with an adaptation.
Yeah.
So even changing things is fine.
Right.
If what I don't like, stuff I don't like. Oh my God. I guess Friday is going to be a Harry Potter episode, guys.
It's fine.
No,
welcome.
One thing I don't like is the forced sense. I mean, I don't even feel it. That's how forced it is. The love triangle.
Yeah.
In Deathly Hallows Part 1.
Part 1. Yep.
Not in the book.
No,
There's like
yeah.
2 seconds.
Yeah.
Where he said he's jealous, but it's not a romantic jealousy.
Right.
And it's just so forced, and then it also creates that horrible dancing scene.
Okay, but I love that song.
That's fine.
Yeah, no,
it does
I
not
love that.
belong in a Harry Potter
No, I'm
movie.
with you 100%. You know what? That is the first movie that I went and saw by myself. We all saw it as a group, and then I was so disappointed that I needed to be distraction-free from everybody else. I need to watch this by myself.
Yeah.
To just like validate my feelings. And
Sure.
but I mean, I was very disappointed with like those feelings that they tried to.
Overall,
yes,
it's
again,
fine.
force.
The movie's
No, sure,
great.
sure, but I mean,
that last scene.
yeah.
Whew, Dobby. Anyway, no, I know what you mean, and so but that's what I'm saying is like that was a poor adaptation choice.
Yeah.
I mean, the Nick Cave song, I may feel completely differently about it if it just didn't accompany. Like, it's just a weird song for an awkward moment.
I like that
for
song.
For a better moment.
I don't like that song in that scene.
Yeah.
But that was the first time I ever heard that song. I was like, oh, I do like this song.
Well, Nick Cave's great.
Yeah.
There's no question about that.
And the Bad Seeds.
Well, yeah, Hey, if I mention Morris Day, you got to assume the time.
Might be hanging around somewhere.
Right. Yeah. So anyway, yeah. Just talking about they definitely. I'm cool with choices, adaptation choices, because you can make it just more mature and
Sure.
one thing that the new Rockstars guy suggested, which I don't know how I feel about, is like say like on a film level, just as far as like a visual level, it might even be more interesting. Say. The way that they did, this is what his comparison. It was like the way that they kind of showed in the Half-Blood Prince, like obviously Draco Malfoy is up to something.
Yep.
We just don't know what he's up to.
Right.
Why not do that with Moody?
Sure.
Show him making Polyjuice Potion, doing this, that, but why is the real question. So it's, have the mystery, of knowing this isn't the real Mad Eye, or is it? Well, I mean, no. I guess if it's not, if it's Polyjuice Potion. Okay, who is it? And you don't. Again, part of the adaptation of the movie was having Barty Crouch Jr. in the beginning scene, the opening scene, which that was a mystery. Who is this guy?
Right.
And then you find out who he is, and then so that was the way that they did the mystery.
Right.
And the way that they kind of adapted that was by adding him to the beginning scene so that you as a viewer would know his face and blah, blah, blah. So leave that out. Then you really, and just leave the other pensive memories of Court in.
Sure.
So then you see all of, not just him being accused, but everything else around it. So you're not like, oh, it's the Barty Crouch guy. I've seen a bunch of pensive memories, so I'm not sure.
Sure.
But Barty Crouch Senior dies, and so it's just a different way of creating a mystery around the Moody.
Do you think we would have had different continuity? So like we had 1, 2, 3, 4 different directors for all 8 of those films.
Is that right?
David Yates did the last 4. You had Chris Columbus do the first 2. You had
last 4. Yes, I'm sorry. Yes.
Alonzo
first 2
do Prisoner.
Perone.
Then I can't remember who did.
Yeah, right. Yep,
but I think if David Yates
it was the first British director, that's what it was.
Oh, really?
For Goblet.
And then I think if you had more continuity with the directing, I think what they polished off with, like maybe we might have had a different continuity with Goblet of Fire.
It's interesting because every book took the aesthetic of the first 2 and changed it, or every movie, excuse me, took the aesthetic of the first 2 and changed it, but it's still pretty heavily was the same kind of feel.
Mm-hmm.
They got darker as they got older, and different directors came in. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how David Yates would have started, because his stuff looks like a BBC series with a bigger budget.
Yeah.
So it looks better. It definitely looks better, and the thing that you'll notice from, at least I noticed from like television series to movies, is just how many shots do we get in this scene?
Sure.
Like how much camera movement do we actually have going on?
Right.
Or is it your sandwich board, like I was mentioning, off or on? I don't remember the podcast. Well, yeah, is it just like, hey, we have only so much time. Y'all are a experienced, dedicated film crew. So here's the sandwich board list of what I need you to do. Yeah, we've got a conversation, so we're cross shooting, and this is how we do it. So I don't know. We will definitely see with the series. Because they're going to have to... I mean, I guess they could subtly change things as it goes, but they're going to have to commit.
Do you know when that's coming out? Like when they're going to start doing all that?
They start filming next year, and apparently season 1 should be 2020. I think they moved it back. So it's 26 or 27. Not sure. Let's just charge through some birthdays in this last minute. Turning 76, Gerard Depardieu, the most French fat sexual assaulter in the world. He loves wine. Turning 29, Timothy Chalamet. I like him as a certain character. He's good. He's good as Paul Atreides because it's supposed to be like a juxtaposition. Little bitch turns into like the Godhead or whatever. So. I liked him in the one Woody Allen movie he was in. We'll see how he is as Bob Dylan.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? I don't even know if I care. Maybe I'll learn some Bob Dylan songs if he's going to come back in fashion. Turning 61, Gaspar Noé. Turning 31, Olivia Cook. That's the green lady mom from House of the Dragon.
Turning 58, Bill Goldberg.
Bill Goldberg.